Hello, hello, hello. Hi, hi, hi. Hope you're well. Hope you're swell. Hope you're doing good. Doing great. Hold on. Thanks. I think it's just my face. I gotta post a bunch of stuff for some attendance. A little hard. Yeah, I'll try my best. It looks crazy. Someone said, shout out to you seeing this. Someone has said they wanted asking me to grow my hair back, but it's over. It's done. I just feel like my hair is just. I was beginning the balding process, and I just got ahead of it. I was just like, it looks kind of crazy. The hairline is receding, and I was just like, you know what? I don't have to deal with this. So, I'm just gonna grow out my beard. Have the beard with the bald head. I think that would be cool. I was actually thinking about like how I don't really need to be that attractive, to be honest, to get what I want. So if I want to be with an attractive woman and she's a good woman and happy, I don't really need to be that attractive. I can be possible. I can be a 6 out of 10. I think that's okay. If I can make something of myself, I can provide security. She can see that there's a good man who is, financially secure and all these sort of things. And I'm in relatively good shape. All these sort of things. I don't need to be Ryan Gosling and Michael B. Jordan or any of these people. I think I've good enough looks. Good enough. I'm okay with that. I've seen this this chart. It talks about things women find attractive. Maybe the chart is bogus, I don't know. But one of the things, I think number one is reading. Is that true? Do women like guys that read? I read. Not as much as I should, not nearly as much as I should. But I do read. And I can have conversations about rampaging topics, and I'm interested in a lot of things. I write. Writing is another thing that is on there. I write a lot. I write poetry, I write music, I write books. Certain women find writing attractive. Jeez Louise, man, what else is on that list? There's a whole bunch of things. Cooking, I cook. I went to, I could cook long before I went to cooking school. I actually am self-taught when it comes to cooking. I just like cooking. But I did go to cooking school. So I can throw it down in the kitchen. What else? I don't know. There were a bunch of things on there that I feel like I ticked a lot of those boxes. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. So I'm not too... Apparently women like bald men as well. Apparently a lot of women are attracted to bald men. I'm just repeating what I saw online. Apparently women are attracted to bald men. Some might say that's bald propaganda. I don't know, man. Repeat something I thought maybe you would believe is true, I guess. But I think I'm doing good. I think I'm doing great. I have enough going for me that I really don't worry that I won't find something, And hopefully she's with me for a lot more than my looks. Because, because then I think you can just be yourself. Because like throughout the duration of the relationship, you can just be yourself. Because that's how you got her. That's how you're gonna keep it. She's not looking necessarily just for your looks. So I wanted to talk about because it's big news of the development of this whole fake Kendrick thing. It's quite contentious. I tend to get over invested in this, so I promise I'll try to make tea now. I promise I will make tea. Shabby, I am making promises. I'll do my best to not get overly invested. I don't want to argue with people in the comments because this is one of those things for me personally that I've had arguments about this. It's never pleasant because I do get very invested in this. Just because Drake is I have his picture on my wall. He's the reason I started making music. He's one of the first rappers I really got into. Funny enough, Kendrick was the first rapper I became a super big fan of. Because the Butterfly was the first rap album I ever paid for. The first and only rap album I ever paid for. I own it, Gave It To Eat. It's the only time I ever paid for an album, like a rap album rather. It wasn't one other album I got. And then my friend gave me a Coldplay album. It was the Ghost Stories album or something. I don't know what the new album was. But anyway, so I started out as a Kendrick fan, funny enough. Actually, I should preface that by saying I started out as a Kendrick fan. I have intimate knowledge of Kendrick's catalog. I haven't listened to the new project just because I'm done with him. I'm over him. But, before that, before the whole beats and all this sort of stuff, I listened to it all Kendrick and I remember there was an old native, there were walks I used to go on, and I'd listen to Dan, the album Dan. I'd listen to it while walking and just meditate on it, and I'd have discussion with people on the themes of the album, and who the blind woman was, and what she represented, and I was like, that has to be Lady Liberty, they talk about how justice is blind, so, she was blind in the little monologue he gave at the beginning of the album and all these sort of things. And I was really invested. In Taking the Buzz Out, in Midnight City. I listened to Mr. Morale. I wasn't as big of a fan of that album. I was not familiar with the previous stuff, but whatever. And yeah, I was a fan for a period of time. And funny enough, when Mr. Morale came out, I was one of the only people that I knew, in my circle. I was running around at the time. I was one of the only people that was, praising the album. And other people were just kind of like, nah, what is this? Most people were just kind of like, this is such a dry album. Unless you're, a super Kendrick fan. But, people I know, they weren't feeling it, but I was just talking about it. Because, I was just one of these people that... Because Kendrick has this effect on people where... he ends up seeming more deep than he actually is, and he ends up getting praised for things that he shouldn't really be getting praised for, because it's not that good. So I thought during that time, because no one else is really feeling it. But anyway, I say all that to say, I have intimate knowledge of this guy's catalog and his music. And what I've noticed with a lot of people, even they've discussed Kendrick Lamar, they don't listen to Kendrick. They're not Kendrick fans. They're casuals. They're not rap fans. They're casuals who are getting in on this whole beef situation and commenting on it, even though they're not qualified to give opinions because they don't really know what they're talking about. I have intimate knowledge on both Drake and Kendrick. So you talk about Drake detractors, because some people do hate Drake and hate quote-unquote 80s music. Kendrick, they don't really listen to his music. They might have heard One Dance, they might have heard Hold On Going Home, which is a great song. One Dance is a great song too. All these songs are great. But God's Plan, the top 5 you might see on Spotify. And then they listen to those songs and believe now they've earned the right to comment on this man's career, even though he has hundreds and hundreds of songs that he's put out over the years. I can go over some of my favorites. I'm not good with recording names off the top of my head, but let's go to artists on Spotify right now. Okay, so just over the top of my head, there's a particular song I want to point out that I post. Let's see. 8 a.m. in Charlotte, which is also his most recent album for all the dogs. That song is crazy. When we talk about rap, when we talk about lyricism, 8 a.m. in Charlotte, very few rappers can have that lyrical ability. Um, that is veteran level writing, and it's so good. And I just love his style of writing in particular. So songs like 8 a.m. in Charlotte, Champagne Poetry, Gold Roses with Rick Ross, what was this? 4 p.m. in Calabasas, 5 a.m. in Toronto. The whole timestamp series, that whole timestamp series is crazy. So when people say Drake can't rap, he's not a good lyricist, yada yada yada, he uses ghostwriters, all this sort of stuff, I can tell that these are very ignorant people that are just talking. They don't know what they're talking about, and it's so frustrating because these are casuals who are inserting themselves into a conversation they have no business being in because they don't know what they're talking about. Anyone who's like a true hip hop fan, who's like a rap fan, they understand rap music, they study rap music, they know that it's a ridiculous statement to say Drake can't rap, to say Drake can't write. Because that's not fair. It's not fair. It's obviously false. It's like saying, regardless of what you think of Floyd Mayweather, it's like saying Floyd Mayweather can't box. It's so stupid. It's so patently false. Because, some people criticize Floyd and say that, oh, you're cherry picking these fights. You didn't really fight the best of the best, which is obviously not true. He did, but when people say this, and they'll find always such ways to criticize Floyd Mayweather, but you don't become Floyd Mayweather without knowing how to box. The evidence is there. These box people, you can watch it. You can watch him fight Manny Pacquiao. You can watch him fight Canelo Alvarez. You can watch him fight all these legendary people and beat them. But people will insist that he's not a good boxer, which is just, you can see that these are casual. These are not real boxing fans. So that's such an absurd claim to make. And it's so annoying. But the internet is full of people like this. The world is full of people like this. I used to deal with this sort of nonsense in high school. But even in high school, so this is what I'm used to. So I grew up it was so cool because in my high school, there's a group of us who were like rap fans. There was the rap party. They would meet up and break and just debate rap. And I was always pro Drake, and then there were a bunch of people that were pro Kendrick and whatnot. But there was always an understanding that Drake can rap. There was because this is a crowd of people that understand rap music. We listen to a lot of it, and we give each other songs to listen to, and we don't just argue, we also just share music and just talk about, but when a new album comes out, we all just rant and rave about the album and our favorite songs and stuff like that. So these were rap fans, right? So even when we're arguing about who are the top 5 greatest of all time, and we're debating like who's good and who's better than who, right? There was an understanding that you lose all credibility if you say Kendrick can't rap, or if you say Drake can't rap. It's so stupid. That's not the debate. Can one rap? Can one not rap? It's like, no, you people have proven themselves. The argument that's not relevant. They can obviously rap. It's obviously true. The debate of who was better. Who's better? So it's different these days because now I see that, especially on the internet and stuff, you got a bunch of these casual people who are just like, he's not a good artist, all this other stuff. Shut up. Anyway, this is the longest preface ever. This is the longest preface ever. I say all that to say, I was a big Kendrick fan. I'm still a Drake fan. I don't agree with everything Drake does. I'm not a fan of all the flamboyant stuff, the painting of the nails, the pictures. Ain't got nothing to do with the sun. All these heavy metal guys, these rock star guys who've been painting their nails and wearing eyeshadow and doing all these sort of mascara and all these dirty things for a long time. And Snoop Dogg had pictures back in the day. So, nothing is under the sun, but I'm just not a fan of all that stuff. I want men to be masculine. I think that's good for society. I don't think it's good for men to start doing all this flamboyant stuff. I don't agree with it, but I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Even though I don't agree with a lot of things Drake does, like the promiscuity, the promotion of promiscuity and a lot of these things, I think that's bad. I think he should be more responsible as a child. He's a child and stability. If he naturally gets married to a good, responsible woman, he can give his child a stable household and all these sort of things. I don't agree with everything Drake does, but for the most part, I like Drake. I like his music. And it's the reason I started making music. I love his production, I love his writing, I love everything he did when it comes to music, and it's the reason I started. But I don't want to get too invested. I don't want to go back and forth. He filed a petition recently. He filed a petition to receive information from UMG, Kendrick and his label. So they're part of the same label, essentially, and he's making the accusation that Kendrick is using bots, which I do believe is true, and he wants UMG to provide information pertaining to the marketing campaign surrounding Not Like Us, which is the song that went viral, Kendrick's this song that went viral, which is accusing Drake of being a PDF file, and Drake is just making the claim that that song was helped dramatically by bot farming, which shouldn't be legal. It's not fair. It's very deceptive, and he also alleges that there were pay-to-play schemes going on, so people paying radio for Not Like Us to be streamed, and so it wasn't genuine. The radio was being paid to promote this song. Spotify was being paid to promote the song. People notice, there's an actual video evidence of people showing, there's a lot of evidence, there's a rabbit hole you can go down, of people showing, like, searching Tupac, for example, and wanting to see Tupac music and Kendrick popping up. People searching, someone shared a photo of just a few examples of this. I'll find it. Yeah, here we go. So you search Pop Smoke, you get Not Like Us. You search Kanye West, you get Not Like Us. There are even instances where you search for Drake music and you see Kendrick music. You search for Tupac, you search for Dr. Dre. And it's like, people just want to see their favorite artist, and they're getting, even though they're not looking for, even though they don't even listen to Kendrick, they still get. So a lot of Drake fans in particular are pointing this out, like, why is Kendrick popping up on my home menu? I'm not even searching anything, and Not Like Us is being, like, on my For You page. Like, what do you mean For You? I don't know anything of it. A lot of people were searching for particular artists and it's still different. So people are just saying that there's collusion between UMG, the label, and Kendrick, and Spotify and all these things to make the song bigger, appear bigger than it actually was, which helped it significantly. And there were bots being used, bots that saw fake streams. There was a person that alleged that he farmed 30 million bots just to get the song going, to get it off the ground. He found 30 million bots for Kendrick. That's yet to be proven in court. We'll see if that's true or not. And look, man, I saw a chart that showed Drake and Kendrick streams respectively throughout this year, 2024. So Drake was way up here. Kendrick was way down there. Then the beef happened when Kendrick released Not Like Us. And Kendrick went from all the way down the airport, crossing Drake slightly right here. Now, if you understand streaming, if you understand all these stats, that's not natural. So I understand that the beef was big, and he's beefing with Drake, the biggest rapper in the world, so obviously that's going to get eyeballs on him as well. But Drake only saw a slight uptick in streams. Kendrick's uptick was insane. Again, so it was like to the tune of like, let's see, hundreds of millions. There's like a 200 million increase in streams, which is, guys, that's not natural. It's not, you don't ever see something like that unless there's some finagling going on, unless there's some illegal buff farming going on that's boosting those numbers. It just doesn't make sense. Because when your numbers are like big and then all of a sudden, it's not consistent. Like Drake's numbers were always like up there and they stayed for a minute. So you can see he's up here, he's up here, he's up here. So this has been him throughout the year. I think this is around the time his album came out. And then album sales, as the album is out for a while, album sales go down, so people aren't listening to Drake as much because the album has been out for a while now. And then the beef happens around this time, and it goes up again. But it's still not as much as his album numbers. Because the beef, so here's the thing with Drake. Drake doesn't benefit from beef. He benefits from his music. People are listening to Drake for music. It's not the same with Kendrick. Kendrick's biggest song. What are Kendrick's biggest songs? Humble, Euphoria, and Not Like Her. What do all three of those songs have in common? And also the song out of Future, Like That. Again, these are his biggest songs. These are his biggest songs, which is crazy. What do the songs have in common? They're diss records. All of them are diss records. Humble, people don't know this. Humble was a diss record towards Big Sean. Again, this is how you know someone's a casual versus someone who's actually into hip-hop and rap. Because you say, Humble wasn't a diss record. It was. The whole upgrade, that whole thing was a mafia picture. The whole big thing was Big Sean. He used to say bitch a lot in that song. I ain't fucking with you. And you're saying bitch a lot in that song as well. But it was kind of like his ad-lib around that time when he had that run with that song. It became kind of like his ad-lib with Sean. And he had little references. He was kind of taking jabs at Big Sean. Because they've had a feud ever since Control, that song he had with Big Sean. They've had a feud because I guess Big Sean felt like Kendrick's verse was, again, Kendrick's just thrives with controversy because Kendrick started taking shots at Drake and all these other people on that verse, and it created this whole hubbub and it became a whole controversial thing. So that Control verse, and then he had another song with Big Sean on DJ Khaled's album in, when did that album come out? 2016, 2017, I can't remember. The Major Keys album, I believe it was. Then there was controversy around that, and then Big Sean had dissed him a little bit, and Kendrick released Humble, and yeah. It was literally a big thing, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that for a time was his biggest song. Then 2024 came around, his career is doing this. Again, look at him compared to Ray. Terrible numbers compared to Diddy. See, this is Drake from Things Take Off Again. 4 of his biggest songs are diss songs. So that's the difference between Drake and Kendrick. One guy thrives off of his catalog, his music, his fans are there for his music. The other guy is only ever sees these high levels of success because he's dissing someone. You could never do numbers like this if you haven't dissing Diddy or dissing Big Sean. Again, this is Drake when For All the Dogs came out. This is the sort of number he was doing in the 200 millions, right? Close to 250 million when For All the Dogs came out. Boom, 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 boom. At the peak of the beef, he drops Family Matters, all this drama, all eyes on him and Kendrick. He still could not top his album numbers, like the streams he was getting when his album was out. He couldn't do it. Because people like him more for his music than they do for all the silly beef stuff. Not true, Kendrick. It's not the same. Kendrick, people only show up when it's time for beef. But even then, I do believe these numbers are grossly inflated. There's something going on here. Because, okay, shout out to shout out to anyone that's been watching thus far. Let me know if you've made it this far. Put a timestamp, put the time mark wherever you are at this point to let me know that you've watched this far. I apologize if you're not into the whole rap beat stuff. And again, I'm really not trying to argue with people in the comments. You're allowed to like who you like. I'm just giving my perspective. Another reason I know that these numbers are fake, so that if you're using bots, Kendrick released an album very recently called GNX, and people have speculated that, he's going to do 400 to a million stream sales first week. To say he's going to do a million is very ambitious. That's like Taylor Swift numbers. Like, Kendrick is not a Taylor Swift, so please sit down. But people are saying that the beef is so massive. He's got so many. He's so popular right now. He might be close to a million, or at least 400,000. Because the hype behind him is so real and so big. Guess what he's projected to sell? People have crunched the numbers and they've done the projections. Guess what they're saying is going to be 290,000. He has grossly underperformed expectations. According to the expectations people had for him. He's grossly underperforming. 290,000 guys. To put that into perspective, 7 months of promo, of everyone speaking this guy's name, everyone saying he's the gold, everyone doing this, everyone doing that, and then when it's time to now support his album, no one cares about, not enough people at least. Tyler, the creator, who's been, nowhere near the spotlight for a while now, and he's trying to, probably doing things here and there, hopping on the feature here and there. He dropped the album randomly recently. He just dropped an album. That album is probably going to have higher first week numbers than Kendrick. How many first week numbers did it have? Tyler, the creator, new album, first week. 299,500. 299,500. So unless Kendrick overperforms the predictions, he might underperform the predictions, but let's say he overperforms the predictions and gets 300,000, which is still such a gross underperformance compared to what people thought he'd get. People were saying he's going to get a million. So even if he gets 300,000, it's still a failure. But the projections are he's going to get 290. If he gets 290, and Tyler, the creator, who's, at least in public perception, far less prominent than Kendrick, will have outsold me. And Tyler, the creator, there's no way Tyler, the creator, outsells Drake, by the way. That's not a thing. And the difference between Drake and all these other guys, Drake doesn't do much bundles when he's putting out his album. It's just available on streaming platforms and you can buy it digitally and that's it. So if you don't know what merch bundles are, it's usually like you get the album with a cap and a shirt and all these sort of things. And it creates this situation where people are buying these bundles not for the album because they can just stream the album online. They're buying it for the merch because that's the only way to get that merch. You can't get the Kendrick shirt and the Kendrick hat and the Kendrick this for that album. That album is being the merch. You can't get it unless you get it with that bundle a lot of the time. And it creates a situation where it inflates the numbers. So it's like the album sales go up, but it's like, no, people weren't buying the album, they were buying the cap that came with the album, they were buying the shirt. And Kendrick has this thing where you can pre-order these vinyls for this DNX album, but the vinyls only come out in March. But then those pre-orders get counted as part of the first week sales. So that vinyl sale gets counted as first week sales, but the people are only getting the album in March. It shouldn't be allowed, it shouldn't be counted. So the whole merch bundle thing when it comes to album sales is very fraudulent and it pads the numbers, right? So Travis Scott, he's perfected this. So when Travis Scott releases, he might outsell Drake. Drake might get 400 something thousand, he might get 500 something thousand, Drake might get 600 something thousand, Travis might get 700,000. In reality, Travis's numbers is more like in the 250 to 300 range, but the rest is made up by these merch bundles and other things that he does. He's the king of this whole padding the stats game. And they figured it out. And Drake is one of the only artists that doesn't do that. And he's been very vocal about it because he thinks it's unfair, and a lot of people who inflated their popularity, they're not as popular as people think. And that's why when it's time to do tours and stuff, you have to sell all of them. So, it's like, these people are fakers, man. These people are fakers. And with the legal case that Drake has brought, accusing Kendrick's label, UMU, Social Drake label, of all these shenanigans, I think it's going to expose a lot of people. It's also going to expose a lot of schemes, not just Kendrick, but a lot of other artists signed UMU benefiting from the label, paying radio for plays and paying Spotify. And these major labels, UMG and Republic and so on and so forth, they own stake in Spotify, which is insane. That shouldn't be legal, guys. Think about it. The record labels that push this music own stakes in the companies that are platforms where you then go and listen to the music. So how do you know that stuff being recommended to you is just a genuine recommendation versus they were paid to promote certain things over other things, and certain artists then can't break through into the blind light? How do you know that the whole system isn't rigged to benefit these major label artists? The answer is it is rigged. People have been saying this for a long time now. The system is rigged. And it's bad for independent artists. Because now it's a situation where if you want to be successful on the radio, you can't do that unless you're willing to pay. It's not about how good your song is. It's not about if I promote my song and some radio person is going to put the song on the radio. No. The song could be absolutely dog radio. And it will end up on the radio because someone pays for it to be there. It shouldn't be the case. How it should work is the songs that end up on the radio are the songs that people are listening to, the streets are saying this is hot, and then the radio person can be like, okay, I'll put this song on. Or maybe it's an unknown artist and the radio person just like, I want to promote this song. It shouldn't be a case of we're just going to, whoever wants to play, that's what we promote. Because then anyone can get onto the radio, and that's what's happening. A lot of bad songs being promoted. And with Kendrick and all these people, they now to paint themselves as anti-establishment. They're very much pro-establishment. It's Drake is pulling these albums from the Grammys and said, I'm not submitting. He hasn't submitted these albums to the Grammys for a long time. A long time. So he won an award at the Grammys. This is so gangster. This is like a couple years ago. Maybe 2020 something. I don't know when. 2021. I can't remember when, like 2022. I don't know when it was. He won the award and he went on stage and he said, he looked at the camera and said, yeah, any young person who's in music that's coming up, you don't need this thing. This doesn't validate you. Just make your music and the streets will validate you. Your fans will validate you. This is nothing. And it's such a slap in the face of the Grammys to say that on the Grammy stage. And then Kendrick wants to act like he's anti-establishment when he's not. He gets all the nominations. He's always there. He would never pull any of the albums from the Grammys because he needs that validation. He's not anti-establishment. He's very pro-establishment, and he's in cahoots with these labels. He's in cahoots with these corporations. It's all smoke and mirrors. Yeah, that's my opinion on that. And you'll see how this whole legal situation turns out. Because Drake made a lot of accusations in the document. I read the document that he filed. If half of it is true and he manages to prove it, it'll send such shockwaves throughout the industry. Because it's not just going to affect Kendrick, it's going to affect everyone that's employing the same tactics as Kendrick, and things will have to change. Because now these companies are being exposed and they can't just carry on in business as usual. So we'll see. This is way bigger than just gaming. This is like, we're talking about an industry just that's so corrupt and it's not fair and it's making it very hard for independent artists to thrive on platforms like Spotify and Apple Music. And yeah, it needs to be addressed. People are paying to play and it shouldn't be that way. You should win off of merit, and when you see screens and you see numbers, those numbers should be real. They shouldn't be fake. It shouldn't be bots, and it shouldn't be numbers that are gained through very dubious tactics. It should be straightforward stuff. So if this whole legal case goes the way it's supposed to, I think the home will be a hero. It should be a hero. You should know how people are. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think this will land. But yeah, y'all let me know what you think in the comments. You know, I like to play with any videos. Therefore, I gotta thank you for the individual watching this one. I'm going to make a poll. You need to down and talk to your space perspective. This person with wonderful people. Well, don't forget anything else with this other engagement. Say we're all going to do the same thing as this person. Love and man, she's staying the love and man. Making very happy things you and stepping in the spirit of gratitude so we can give thanks for wonderful things in life. And I give you guys a divine peace, contentment, and the blessings and blessings. Let your prayers be for this person's life and make your God that you always love them. And yours will be there for them. Good health and life and happiness. This person over and everybody in my name. Bring Jesus,